A couple of days ago, we ended our hunt with a Mississippi Acres piebald female alligator, and the whole situation was a little bit less than ideal. We ended up with a bad shot from the 6.5, followed up with a good shot from the 44 Wildcat. That whole concept just made me wonder if the 454 with soft points would be a better option, and I don't know that a fleeing gator like this was the ideal way to get started. I am kind of curious to see if he's dying at all, and I mean, he's beginning to even with bad shots. And maybe that is a good sign that this is going to work. Now, this isn't just a 454 alligator hunt. We've got the muzzleloader and the 303. Those are going to be more long-range gator weapons, 150 meters out, because what so often happens is the gators will be hidden in the grass. When you get close enough that the grass renders in, they can be kind of almost invisible. So it's quite useful to have something that will allow you to take them at a longer range. And we see that mythical did go down. Not exactly ideal, not going to be a vital hit, but good to know. Even with far less than ideal shots, the 454 with soft point rounds can do quite well. And we'll look at the ammo stats here in just a moment. There is another one running by. Let's see if we can do a little bit better and maybe get a vital. It's tough when they're moving like that, although maybe at 2 yards, we can probably make it work. I mean, what is this? We've begun a gator drive, it would seem, but it seemed to do pretty well. Not amazing, but maybe well enough that it's a worthwhile endeavor. I'm still not certain that if we're right close to deep water, that it's the best move. This is going to be a pile of dead gators. Okay, before we go any further, this is the longest intro in history. Just gonna screenshot that. I don't think I've ever killed 3 gators in one spot before. And then we'll go through this. So, double lung. Wow. Okay, maybe that's because it's at 4 meters. But 25 penetration is the 454 soft point ammo, or wait. Oh, okay, I see. So, actually, I have the hard cast bullets equipped. Good to know, then, that those still do a pretty decent job. But that is not a whole lot different than shooting them with, say, the 303. The expansion stat, let's go through this real quick. The expansion stat of the 454 hardcast bullets is 23. If we go and compare, say, like the muzzleloader, it's 30 expansion. The 303 is 12 expansion, so somewhere in between there. But if we go down to the soft point bullets, which is going to be the main point of the hollow point bullets for the 454, it's 100 expansion and 25 penetration. Let's kind of try this again, hopefully with one that is not running and actually using the correct ammo. I could not imagine a more perfect kind of test case for this. This nervous gator, which I'm sure got here due to the chaos at the intro there, is kind of swimming right at us. It should allow us to get a pretty close range, hopefully not rushed shot at the vitals. Now the only thing is, at some point we need him to turn at least a little broadside, but he should be exiting the water. He's just doing that now, and then immediately turns to flee. But we got the shot off, and he is going down pretty quick. Again, 100 expansion is a lot. Like, that's serious damage to the lungs, and this I don't think is deep enough water to actually escape in, but he went down quite quickly. Quick kill of 87%, I think, behind the chat there, 86.94%, which is just over 8 seconds. If we could get 2 shots, even if the second one is, flesh, we could probably get that down to about 8 seconds. And the overarching goal here is not for every single gator to be shot with a 454, but if a level 9 shows up, or if another rare shows up, I want to be confident that we can make good shots, get in range, and do it that way, rather than something risky like what almost happened using the 6.5 on the Piebald last time. So we'll kind of continue to test this. Obviously, not every shot's going to be like 10 meters away, but I like what I've seen so far. I feel like this could be kind of our new gator loadout. So this is the other side of the coin. It's 150 meters away, and there's no way that we can get close enough. And even if we were able to, you can kind of see as we kind of cross that 140 meter, 130 meter area, the grass starts to render in. Now, the problem is maybe we should have just taken that shot because now he is facing us. But the way that I was doing this, and the way that I think we're going to try to do it today, is to take a shot with a muzzleloader, quickly switch to the 303, and then try to get another shot off. Now, I think we hit the tail, so that was not ideal, but the muzzleloader shot was definitely into the vitals, and often it is enough to bring them down. So, in theory, maybe I should have waited on the 303 shot. That would have probably been a better option. We'll see if it's enough to get him down before he disappears, though. And luckily, in this instance, it was. Now, there are plenty of situations where that would not have worked, but we did hit the second shot. We did hit him in the tail, which maybe that helps. I don't know if that is similar to like a vertebrae hit, because it is a vertebrae, but probably not in the same way. But regardless, it was enough to bring him down, and it's good to know that we can kind of make that work if we need to, but definitely with the follow-up, we should probably take a bit more time. And that's really only for those circumstances where maybe we can't get within, say, 80 meters or something. That might be my cutoff for using the 454. So far, we haven't had any escape, though, which I think is promising. Now, this is a rare scenario, one that, in theory, the 454 is good for. I've never actually had one stay aggressive. They always end up fleeing, and that's what that one's going to do, too, unfortunately. Still going to go ahead and try to get it, since we're here. I've never, like, they sit there aggressive, and then they don't attack, and maybe that's a multiplayer thing. I can't say I've had an aggressive gator in single player, but it could be kind of like the wolves over on Yukon Valley, or perhaps the issue may have been something to do with ping, because it seems as though we can't claim this one, which I guess, fortunately, it's not a rare. Kind of a neat encounter. It still doesn't happen all that often, but I guess we'll go and try to... Oh, alright. Well, now we see that we got a lung shot twice. That makes me less than optimistic about our odds of claiming more things in this server, but maybe we'll check the rest of this lake and then switch it up. I think that's an olive fur type. I've really been trying to, you know, just take the shot and be certain. It's 300 meters away. It's probably an olive fur type, but if that's a melanistic, especially with a good estimate to where it could be gold, we just have to try to get it. And I feel like I've learned my lesson with these. It's just best taking the 300 meter shot and trying to do so accurately. You try to get closer, the angle's bad, end up spooking them or whatever. So we're going to... I don't know, I think we're going to try to just get 2 lung shots. Neck would be so difficult at that range. Try to take our time a little more with the follow-up. Should be, you know what? Well, for one, it is an olive fur type. I can see the green or olive variation, I guess. It's not fur. I can see the green now in the sun. But we got a heart shot or something on that follow-up, which wasn't bad. You know what? It's not even olive, it's dark brown. I guess there's a little more of a greenish color towards the nose end, but not only that, wait. Okay, first of all, ended up being a silver by a lot. Gold is 378. I guess the first shot was a hard shot, and it was dead before the second shot ever got there, because I believe the second shot should have impacted. On one hand, I'm sitting here, and outside of the couple of kind of odd scenarios, the mythical that ran past us at the beginning, or I think there was another one. Oh, the one where we rushed the 303 follow-up shot. Those were maybe close to where the gators would have escaped. Everything else has really not been that close. This loadout has worked really well, but then there's stuff like that, kind of a fluke hard shot or whatever, that I really don't feel like I can count for this loadout being good. So I don't know yet. I like what I'm seeing, but maybe it's not the strongest of evidence. No way. Is that that's a 5, so it's not gonna be a gold, but that is the striped variant that I want to say it's the same as the level 7 that we messed up on stream. And, you know, that really is the beginning of this idea of trying to come up with a better loadout. So I don't know, we're at a weird time of day. This server is just about 1800. In fact, there's a gray fox drinking over there in the distance. So I'm just not sure what gators do. If he's gonna keep on kind of walking towards the shore, we won't rush things and we'll try to get in and use this 454 kind of concept. I can't believe we found another one. I said that at the end of the last hunt. I don't think it's that rare gators are exceedingly rare. I think it's the possibility of losing them and the fact that maybe even without a shot, if you spook them, sometimes, especially in multiplayer, they just don't resurface. So I feel good about our odds to eventually get a couple gold rares. But definitely this is an opportunity to kind of fine-tune our strategy for taking them down quickly. Now the problem remains, spotting a gator, especially when it's in a bit of brush, can be rather difficult. So we're going to have to kind of base our shot off of roughly what we can determine where it's laying. Because I really doubt we're going to get it spotted for maybe any longer than a second or two with the binoculars. I don't think we can do it with the handgun scope, but we'll try to kind of press in a little closer. No point rushing. We kind of rushed a bit with the piebald female the other day, and that started to cause some chaos, so we'll be sure to take advantage of this kind of good setup we have here. Now, we're definitely not going to be able to use any brush to our advantage, so I think we're going to stop here. I know we're in the area of like 27 meters out, something like that. Or we were. There he is. Yeah, I like this. Before he starts to go alert then, gonna put one shot in the lung area, try to get a second one, and there's no way he's gonna get away. That is way better than anything we've dealt with in the past. And of course he got stuck there, which even made it basically impossible for him to get anywhere. But I mean, for one, you see how far he was from the water. He could have ran at a dead sprint towards the water and wouldn't have gotten there. That was the whole point, and we'll get into it a bit more after we take a look here. Nice little 328 scoring piebald. This one hit left lung and right lung from the hollow point 454 rounds. I mean, it's so much better than any other method I've tried. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are quite proficient at neck shots, and maybe that's something I can continue to get better at. But, I mean, we saw it 2 days ago. If it's just not in an ideal spot, if it's tough to see exactly where you're aiming, and you miss that small target, things get really chaotic really quickly. And the other side of this is, the reason that I wanted to come up with something like the 454 is because, in my opinion, this kind of stretch of the main river, running from this outpost down here in the Great River Plain up to this outpost, that's where a lot of times you can find the most gators, and we've shot a number of diamonds in our first ever rare gator on this stretch. There's no barrier there generally where the water's between you and the gator. Normally you can get as close as you want, and I really like having a setup where with the 454 we can take what is generally, I would say, a pretty safe shot into the lung, and of course the 454's got a quick follow-up. Get two in there and I don't think they're going anywhere. I really like that. I think going forward, probably that will be our gator loadout, but at this point, I think we'll head back to the trophy lodge. Another second lodge piebald gator to add, and this is kind of what I want to do. Two different variations, whether it is two different piebalds, whether it's a piebald and an albino or whatever, but gold score of these rare gators, and then over a doorway in the main lodge. Of course, these guys are just silvers, just kind of practicing, learning the way that we want to go about these shots. But I feel way better having used the 454 today and kind of, you know, experience what that loadout can do versus almost losing this piebald female gator from the last hunt. And of course, the last hunt was a bit of a challenge loadout, a bit of a different situation, but definitely for me, I think the 454 is the way we're going to go. Maybe still in the distance, the 303, the muzzleloader, take those shots, but when something significant shows up, 454 all the way, and I think we're going to be just fine. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.